As the blackbird in the spring 'neath the willow tree sat and piped, I heard him sing, praising Aurelie. Aurelie, Aurelie, maid of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air. As the blackbird in the spring 'neath the willow tree sat and piped, I heard him sing, praising Aurelie. Aurelie, Aurelie, maid of golden hair, sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air. Aurelie, a favorite of the American Civil War era, 1861, written by W. Fosdick and George Poulton. This song was later interpreted by Elvis as Love Me Tender. Now in this song it's in 4/4 time, but I'm using a triplet pattern in playing this song, a triplet finger picking pattern. And there are actually two versions of this that I'd like to teach in this tutorial. One which goes in the forward direction, which sounds like this, and one in the backwards direction, in reverse. Either works fine. They both have a similar feeling, but just a little different, and a nice variation to lend to the song. And so this is a good finger picking pattern in 4/4 time. And if you want to have a kind of a lilting kind of rolling feel to the song, this is a good choice. Take a look now at the tablature for the two patterns, the forward and the reverse pattern of the triplet pattern in 4/4 time. In this tablature notation, the lines indicate the strings of the ukulele. The top line is the first string. The bottom line is the fourth string. Now when you see numbers on those lines, they indicate the frets that are to be pressed down. If you see a 0, that means that string is played open. Now the fingering notation that I use is P for thumb, I for index finger, and M for middle finger. Now the thumb takes care of the fourth and the third string, the I finger always takes care of the second string, and the M finger takes care of the first string. Now whenever you play a finger picking pattern, try to do this. Make sure that the thumb is slightly extended beyond the two fingers, not back like this. If your fingers are back like this, your thumb is back, then your fingers and thumb will collide together. They'll kind of get messed up in there. So get these two fingers back and the thumb here so that the thumb can come down freely. Now in the forward pattern, simply thumb on the fourth string, and I'm using a C chord, index finger on the second, and middle finger on the first. So it sounds like this. And you play 4 of those in a row to complete the measure. And at all times, keep your fingers close to the strings. Never pull off like this, because that wastes energy, and also it causes your fingering to be inaccurate. Keep your fingers close to the strings. Sometimes I just even take my pinky and rest it on the face of the ukulele for stability. Now the reverse of that is just the reverse. Middle finger first, index finger, and thumb. And it would be wise to practice these patterns, 4 measures of forward, 4 measures of reverse, forward, reverse, so you don't get locked into one pattern. Now change. Back to forward. Change to reverse. So you go, as the blackbird in the spring, 'neath the willow tree. Now I'll do that in reverse. As the blackbird in the spring, 'neath the willow tree. Now you have an option here of sometimes playing the thumb on the 3rd string as well as the 4th. And I leave that up to you for variations on the sound of the chord. Thumb between the 4th and the 3rd string. Now some tips for practicing. I would suggest taking simply a C chord and practicing this pattern over and over and over again repeatedly on the C, then go to a D minor chord, do the same thing, a G 7th chord, and then back to C, and so forth. So you have your C chord, you have your D minor, you have your G 7th, and then back to C. Now in the chorus, it goes into an E 7th chord and an A 7th chord. I love the chorus because it changes up the chord progression a bit. Now, after you get comfortable with the pattern, then you can start going through the chord progression. Now notice we're not singing yet. We're just working on the finger picking pattern and the chords. So each chord gets one full measure of triplet playing. So you start on C, now switch to D minor, 2, 3, 4, G 7th, 2, 3, 4, and back to C. Then practice the reverse. D minor, G 7th, and back to C. And there's a tip for practicing. Once you get comfortable with that, then you can try to add the vocal. But once you add the vocal and it starts to falling apart, then that means that the right hand isn't secure enough yet. You, as I've said many times in the past, you have to develop muscle memory. So practice repetitively the chord progression and the finger picking pattern. Hi, in all of my YouTube channels, you may have noticed that some of my videos are missing. In my Music Teacher 2010, the chief video that's missing is Over the Rainbow, which, by the way, can still be found on the Endless Summer channel. YouTube has made this decision to take some of my videos off as copyright violation, and I'm respecting that. And at the same time, I want to keep my channels viable, and I want to keep adding more lessons. So I am being very careful about what I put up from this point on, and what I will continue to give you, however, will always be the best quality video lessons that I can make. I would also suggest that you, if you're already on Facebook, that you could friend my Facebook page, because I keep you up to date on things on there as well. And also my blog site, www.ukulelemikeLynch.wordpress.com, and I'll put it at the end of this video so you can jot it down or go to my blog. Subscribe to my blog, because I will be putting up other videos on there. I will probably be attaching some of my missing videos to my blog site with some mini lessons. So the blog is another form of teaching that I use, another vehicle that I use for teaching, and it's important to subscribe so that you get all of the instant email alerts when I do a new posting to my blog. So there you have it. I'm also on the verge of releasing my Christmas ebook, and also a second DVD. Besides, I have the beginner one, Ukulele Basics. This will be a more advanced DVD. It's called Exploring the Ukulele Volume 1, and it will be out fairly soon. I'm still doing some production elements and getting it ready for availability, so stay tuned for that. Happy strumming. Hi, I forgot to mention my new ukulele strap. This was made by a student of mine, Teresa Bolin, who lives in Japan. She makes this out of handcrafted. She makes them out of traditional Japanese fabrics and designs, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's got all of the hardware on it for a strap. It's even signed by the maker and so forth. And I will be attaching a little video to my YouTube page and also to my Facebook page as to how you can get these straps. I have found ukulele straps are difficult to get. I've been resorting to smaller guitar straps or whatever, and I like the straps that have the little that have very little metal or no metal, and these are all fabric and softer plastic, so there's nothing to scratch the ukulele. So there's my brand new strap, and I'm loving it. Take care. As the blackbird in the spring 'neath the willow tree sat and piped, I heard him sing, praising Oralee. Oralee, Oralee, made of golden hair. Sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air. As the blackbird in the spring 'neath the willow tree sat and piped, I heard him sing, praising Oralee. Oralee, Oralee, made of golden hair. Sunshine came along with thee, and swallows in the air.